in the band, usually, like I want to do it like this, and the other guys they want to do it other way. But usually, that's why Jona he's a great producer because he can be the like last. He can be the last one who says like, okay, guys, calm down. We're gonna do it like this, and end of conversation.
Why did you decide to be the bass player?
I guess no one else wanted to play bass,
Yes,
but
I imagine.
but I really like to play bass though. But I also play guitar and I used to play trumpet and stuff like that. But when we formed the band, we needed a bass player, and I I decided to play bass.
This is Tony González from Made in Metal, and today we are talking to Jimi Valikangas, the bass player in Temple Balls. Hello, Jimmy, how are you?
Hello, hello. It's all good here.
The new album, there is a new album that is going to release in 2 weeks, maybe, or maybe before.
Mm-hmm.
And the new album is simply called Temple Balls. What led you to that decision now after 4 previous albums?
I guess we kinda it's what it's all about. What Temple Balls is all about. This album and this sound on the new one. Uh, we've been working on our sound for a long time now, and I guess now we are happy with the results, and now it's time to call it Temple Balls.
Are there any emotional or creative difference between this work and Avalanche?
Well, not actually. We always put everything into our albums and give it all, so to speak. So maybe the songs are the difference. It's the same type of hard rock. It's our way to make hard rock. And not that much difference. I think it's just new songs with a different drive, maybe.
Did you participate in the writing process?
Yeah, of course. We all participate.
So, Soul Survivor was the starting point for the album. What
Participate.
does Soul Survivor symbolize for you?
I guess it was just first, kick off for the creating process. We went through our demo folders, what we got for this album, and Soul Survivor was the first one that actually kind of it was one of those songs or demos that kind of stood up among the many demos. So basically, it's kick off for this album creative process.
Are there any track on the album where you feel the bass plays a key emotional or conceptual?
I think all of them are all the songs are like we've put our heart and soul into these songs. So basically, every single song on the album is meaningful in some way.
Hi, I'm Tony Gonzalez, and this is Made in Metal. If you are passionate about rock and metal, this channel is your home. Here we celebrate the musicians, songwriters, and producers who have made history. We have already interviewed some incredible artists, and with your subscription, we can go even farther. Your support gives us visibility, open doors, and allows us to keep creating powerful, authentic content. Subscribe, share, and be part of this metal loving community. Thanks for being here, and let the good rock keep rolling. Did you count again with Jona Tee, or there is another producer?
No, we worked with Jonah this time also, and we are really happy with the results. And we like his way to produce albums. His musical genius and mastermind behind many great ideas. So we didn't feel to change the producer now, and not in the future.
How does a temple ball song typically come about? From a guitar riff, a bass line, a vocal melody?
Uh, it depends on who is writing the song. For me, mostly the first part coming is the chorus, it pops into my head, and I start with the chorus usually, and then come up with the riffs after that. But sometimes you may get a good riff idea and then start to build on that. But usually for me, it's chorus.
For example, I'm going to select a song that I like a lot, and you will tell me how this song was written and
Mm-hmm.
recorded. For example, is Tokyo Love because it's a happy song, it's very glad. How this song start and finish being Tokyo Love?
Well, basically, I was driving my car, and this melody part from the chorus, this repeating, talking about, Tokyo love. It started to repeat in my head, and I was, maybe we should try to do this. And then I went to studio and made a only short demo. It was only the chorus part and the main riff. Uh, there wasn't any verses or pre-chorus or solo parts. Only chorus and the riff on the demo. And then I introduced it to Jona and Nico. When we went to our first pre-production session, we started to work on the short demo and made it how it is now.
Yes,
But basically, it was only this short part, repeating, talking about, Tokyo love. And then we kind of wondered if we could find another lyric for it. But we tried many different variations, but nothing was as hooky as Tokyo. And in English language, there ain't no that many words that sounds like Tokyo. We tried many words, but they didn't work as well. So yeah, we decided to go with Tokyo Love, and there's nothing wrong with Tokyo or love, so why not to go with Tokyo Love?
I like your answer, Jimmy. So I'm going to repeat with another song that to me is really good. Is We Are the Night. How We
Uh-huh.
Are the Night comes into this song?
I guess there was Yiri's riff, this, and then we just jammed on this riff. It was Yiri's like raw demo, and then me, Nico, and Jonah, we kind of tried to sing something on it, and basically like that. And then how it turned out. Then we kind of wanted to have a bit more poppy verses on that one. So with those we worked kind of a lot to find the right mood for the verse. And then the last spice on the song, there was like we were already recording the song, and then Jonah, we were eating other guys, and Jonah came from the studio room and recording room and said like, oh shit, we should have sax solo on this one. And we were like, what? Yeah, we need saxophone on this one. And then okay, we could give it a shot at least. And then we decided to keep sax solo on there. And yeah.
You mentioned Jonah more than once. So how important is Jonah for the sound of your band?
He has a really good input in our sound. His mastermind with the keyboards, and at least he gives like great keyboard world into our songs, and also he knows a lot of uh, he knows a lot about backing vocals and how to build those. So he's kind of like sixth member on this album. He's important part of the sound as well.
Yes, so Finland has a very distinct sonic identity. What
Mhm.
aspect of the northern sound do you think are present in Temple Balls?
I guess you can hear it at least because we grew up with this Finnish hard rock music or heavy metal music as well. So we've been listening to this type of music a lot, Finnish metal and rock music. So of course there's some influences as well from. Maybe it adds a bit of darkness as well to our sound. It's like up tempo hard rock mostly our music, but there is this kind of dark twist also on lyrics, and so maybe the northern darkness adds a little spice. I don't know.
The idea that you tell me some minutes ago that you go to the studio and Jona say this song can have a sax solo made me think on this question. So, were there any moments of creative conflict during the recording?
Yes, we have those every now and then uh, in the band. Usually, like I want to do it like this, and the other guys they want to do it other way. But usually, that's why Jonah he's a great producer because he can be the like last. He can be the last one who says like, okay, guys, calm down. We're gonna do it like this, and end of conversation. And then we just have to trust the producer to end up the creative conflict.
Now we are going to talk about your bass, your instrument. So,
Mhm.
for example, are you a bass collector or you have only one or two basses?
In this room, I have five at the moment
Five?
over there. So I have many bass guitars, but to be honest, I only on live shows and on the albums I only play like two or three. But for some reason, there's many of them. I kind of like to collect bass guitars. Yeah,
Jimmy,
so I have many bass guitars.
yes, but you play two or three because the sound is different or the brand or something. Tell me.
Those are my favorite. It's how it feels, maybe. Mostly. I really like my 80s Jackson and Charvel bass guitars because how they feel. The neck it fits to my hand pretty well, and the sound is thunderous as well. So that's why I usually play with those. Also, I like how it sounds in Temple Bowls music. I play a lot of different type of music as well at home, and maybe it's nice to jam with jazz bass or other bass sometimes. But when I play hard rock, I stick to these two brands, Jackson and Charvel.
And when you play live, do you prefer to replicate the studio tone or take a more aggressive and raw approach?
Usually, the aggressive is the best style. I like to smash the bass like hard.
Do you use any technique to harden the sound without losing melodic clarity?
Well, I like to have a bit thicker strings and then kind of heavy pick. So I think that gives something to the sound. But otherwise, it's just playing hard, like really hitting hard the bass. And my style of play bass, it's not maybe the most like soft and melodic way. It's more like giving a lot of drive and rhythm to the band.
When you write this recording, uh, was there any song that do you think first as a bass part or the rhythm section with Isa?
To be honest, usually it's weird. I'm a bass player, but usually the bass is the last one I focus. It's like when everything else is done, I start thinking, okay, what should I play with bass in here? Sometimes I know how to play the song with guitar, and I have no idea what to do with the bass. So then I take time for the like sometimes even in recordings I start to think what to do with the bass. So I think it's important what I play, but uh, it's also nice to have the whole song sketch like you have the whole song and then you start to build the bass lines. uh, Usually on demo versions I just like smash it through like basic chords, basic notes, and then I start to build something on that later when I have time alone to think about it.
Jimmy, after that answer, I need to ask you, why did you decide to be the bass player?
I guess no one else wanted to play bass,
Yes,
but
I imagine.
but I really like to play bass though. But I also play guitar and I used to play trumpet and stuff like that. But when we formed the band, we needed a bass player, and I I decided to play bass.
And before Temple Balls, were you involved in any other bands or project that help you to define your artistic identity?
Yeah, I played in a few bands also before Temple Balls. It was more like, those like high school bands. We had a few power metal bands. We played more like bands like Stratovarius and stuff like that. But after that, Temple Balls, and then since we formed this band, I've played in Temple Balls only.
There are some reviews from the past
Hmm.
that compare your band with another Swedish band like H.E.A.T and
Hmm.
or Eclipse. And my question is, does this comparison bother you, or do you consider it's a compliment?
I think those are great bands, so it's compliments. I really like Eclipse and Heat, so why not to be? It's good to be compared with great bands, so why not?
And there is another question that is very personal. Is what would you like people to discover about you that might never have come up in an interview?
I don't know. Maybe the music. If people haven't heard our songs, maybe they should give a shot, and maybe they like them. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, we're just bunch of dudes who love hard rock and heavy metal music, and yeah, there's no any secrets or nothing cool to discover besides the music.
Jimmy, in this moment with Temple Balls, what personal or sonic goals would you like to achieve in the coming year?
I don't know. Just enjoy the ride. We just make music and enjoy the ride. Of course, we like more people to. We would like to more people find our music and listen to it, but we mostly make the music for ourselves. And if other people enjoy it, uh, it's great as well. So basically, we just go with the flow, make some great moments together, and it's mostly like that.
Do you see yourself exploring other musical style with the bass or the guitar, or collaborating outside of hard rock, classic rock?
I guess with Temple Balls, we stick into hard rock and heavy metal style. Me, by myself, I think it's all about rock and roll. So maybe not.
You are a rocker 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. I like to listen to other type of music as well, but playing wise, it's rock and roll. And also, I guess for me, when I write music, it turns out to be classic hard rock. So I've never tried to write anything else. So basically, it's all about hard rock.
In your heart is stronger than fire, like the song.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yes. So I hope that Temple Balls had a long story, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, like the Rolling Stone. Do you have a vision of the future as long as 60 years or not?
I grew up. We all grew up with this band, uh, so I can't see we were going to quit. So why not? Why not to have a long career?
Are there some plans for touring outside the North area or not yet?
At this point, we ain't got any plans. We just focus on releasing the album, and we'll see what happens after that. But we have no touring plans at the moment. Let's see what the future holds for us.
But you are the kind of band that likes to tour crossing Europe, or you are the band that prefer to be more local?
Yeah, we of course we prefer to play anywhere basically. What we like to play around, do live shows, but yeah, uh, in the moment, uh, yeah, we had this loss in the band, and yeah, we have no plans yet.
Jimmy, I hope to see you here in Spain. The music is very energetic. I think, for example, H.E.A.T is a band that come to Spain almost twice a year. And
Mhm.
I think that a band like yours here in Spain will be very popular. In fact, you are popular here.
Yeah, we've enjoyed every time we've played in Spain, and the crowd there, it's always been crazy. So looking forward to play there again.
My last question is a sad question, Jimmy. If this were the last album you ever made, what message do you think it will leave behind?
Well, the message will be hard rock or no rock at all.
Perfect, Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm really glad with the new recording. I hope that this will be a very good recording and the people will like the music very much. So thank you for your time. And if you have some words to introduce the recording to the people who doesn't know or only have listened and watched the two videos that are on YouTube, it's your moment.
Well, it's pure hard rock made made with dudes who love this type of music. It's made for love of hard rock. Uh, give it a shot if you like melodic hard rock, like old classic 80s hard rock bands. This is your moment to find something new and fresh. So give it a spin.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, for your time. I hope to see you here in Madrid soon because I'm from Madrid. And thank you very much for your interview.
Thanks for the interview. I hope that we can get into Madrid one day again.